I'm Miguel, and today we are going to be doing part 2 of our shooter game. Here we will be adding enemies and a damage system, which is pretty neat. We will also be polishing a couple things, but that's mainly for part 3. So, let's get started.
If you haven't seen part 1, go to our channel and search for it. Now, let's make a new sprite. We'll make this one Rowan. You can make this sprite whatever you want, but we are using our characters. Make sure you can tell the difference between the enemies and the player. Also make sure that the bullet color isn't the same color as the enemies.
Let's go into our code for the enemy and drag a one green flag click. Put a hide under it and drag a forever loop below the hide. Inside of it, put wait 1 second and drag a create a clone of myself. Now drag a when I start as a clone block. Under that, put show. Drag out a go to random position. Under that, put a forever loop. And inside of that, put a point towards player. In our case, this is Miguel. Under the point block, put a move block and change the value inside to 2. The less the value, the slower your enemies will move. The greater the value, the faster. So keep that in mind. Drag an if statement, and in the designated area, put a touching mouse pointer block. Change that to bullet, or whatever you called your projectile. Now, put a delete this clone in the if statement. And this should work. Let's test it.
And it works.
Which is very good. But there is one slight issue. Did you catch that? Right there? Did you see how the bullet went through all of those enemies? There's a simple fix for that. Go to the bullet code now. And where it says repeat until touching edge, drag out the touching edge and drag an OR block. Duplicate the touching edge and change one of them to Rowan or whatever you named your enemy. Put them back in. And now you shouldn't have that problem. Let's test it. And it works. Let's go to Miguel and make a new variable called health. Keep it for all sprites. Go to the top of the movement code and put the block set health to, and then change the value to 100. Now, under all of the movement, drag an if statement and drag a if touching mouse pointer block. Change that to whatever you named your enemy, or in our case, Rowan. Now, inside of that, put a change health by -5. Now, let's go to Rowan. And where you see touching bullet, take it out. Drag an OR statement and duplicate the touching bullet. Change one of them to player, or in our case, Miguel. Put both of them inside of the OR and place it back where it was. And go back to Miguel. And under the movement, put an if statement. And go to variables now. Put in health less than 0. Repeat 10 times. Go to looks. And find a change color effect by 25. Change that to ghost and change the value to 10. Now go to control and find the repeat 10 times block and put the change ghost effect inside of it. And then in the if statement, put a hide. Make sure it's in the if statement but not in the forever loop. Go to the top of where it says when green flag clicked. Drag a clear all effects block and also drag a show block. Now go to Rowan and drag a wait 1 second block and place it above the delete this clone. Change that to 0. This is for it to wait 1 frame before something happens. That is so it doesn't delete the clone right when it touches Miguel. Now let's test it. We're going to speed up the process to see how it looks like when it dies. We'll see you on the other side. And
Let's see.
oh, when it disappeared. In fashion too.
Now, this is optional, but you might have noticed when you point to the left, Miguel faces upside down. There's a simple fix for this. Go to the Miguel sprite. Duplicate your first costume. Name it right. Go back to the first costume and name it left. Use the mouse pointer tool to select it and center it. Make sure both of your costumes are centered. Flip the left costume upside down and go back to the code. Go to the bottom and drag an if-else block. If direction is less than 0. Then, switch costume to left. Else, switch costume to right. And as you can see, this is working great.
Alright guys, that is all for today's video. This has been a great series, and there's one more episode left to go where we will be polishing everything. Thank you guys for watching, and you guys definitely use some scratch abilities.